What's up? What's up? Make sure. Wait, talk.
We live. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I'm good.
All right.
Good. Making sure. Hello, hello. Hey, how y'all doing? Tuesday. Um,
Great Tuesday.
yeah, we had a federal holiday, a brand new federal holiday, Juneteenth.
All right.
Um, I'm on the fence about that, but is it is acknowledgement? So
I
I
mean,
mean,
it is, but I think I might be where you are with this one, man.
I'm on the fence.
I'm not on the fence. I'm like, nah. But okay.
Yeah,
I digress.
we had much more things like we had
Right.
so much going on and we could have had something actually that meant something along with this. Like this isn't a bill. I mean,
Right.
it's not for every black person because if you don't work for the state or the government, you're really not seeing
You don't see any
any
benefit.
benefits because you're not
It
getting any extra
it
money.
was, and I don't want to try to, say, okay, they had a harder time than they had, but this was a small section
Mm,
of slavery that where this took place, where this happened at.
mm.
So not trying to measure misery, but
Well, no, it wasn't about the fact that Texas stayed as slave. It was about this is the time when everybody was able to be. You could say the
right,
whole all black
all
people were free.
slaves were free.
Yeah, were free.
Right,
1865.
right.
Hey Ashley. Hey Donna.
Donna.
Donna Karen. Hey, how you doing?
Wow, I thought that name looked familiar when I saw that. I was looking, I was like, Donna Care.
Mm.
How did the show? I got your text late last week. How did the show go with the daughters for Ashley?
Oh, it went well. Ashley's Black Girl Interrupted. She had a show, Fathers and Daughters, Black Fathers and Daughter, and it went well. I mean, I thought I didn't have anything. That's why I reached out to you. I thought I didn't have anything I could add to the conversation, but I could, being that I'm a grandfather and I have a granddaughter, and I have goddaughters and other stuff. So
Got plenty of women in your
yeah,
life.
women in my life, so I could add something to it. So, but it was a great show. I actually liked it, and I wanted to go on another show. I missed her show last night. Well, no, it was yeah, it was last night. I missed the show last night. Um, Tuesdays and Thursdays, check out YouTube streaming, all streaming platforms, Spotify, Facebook Live, Black Girl Interrupted, iTunes, everything. So she all over the place. But I think she had Ashley. Tell us what. Okay, there you go. Tonight I'm discussing interracial dating. Okay, there you go. All right. So check her out tonight. It's gonna be after this. It's gonna be 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, so I was going back and forth myself because I was, talking to some people about last week's about my rant or my whatever, me talking last week, and I looked at it and I'm like, I was on the fence about it. I'm like, it was kind of harsh, but then again, like people don't react to you talking to them in a certain tone.
Right.
Um, then I had to think about it from a dynamic we were talking about, as far as not being a enemy to women, not being the black women or whatever. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Who tells a black woman that their tone is not acceptable?
Right.
She needs to tone it down when she's talking to black men, or even tone when he's talking to other black women. Nobody tells them that. So then I was like, you know what? We we used to have a such thing back in the day when we were growing up called tough love. You know, it's a thing, tough love,
Yeah, it's a
and,
real thing.
and it bred results. To me, in my opinion, it got results.
Right. I think it got results in the majority. It's just the ones where it didn't get results. Then that's where the negative aspect came from. When say 80% of people, it brought some out of them, whereas another 20% it pushed them further away. And I think that's why it got such a bad, like, shame. I think shame is a good thing,
No,
man.
yeah, I mean, as long as directed you can direct shame in a manner
when,
to where you get results.
when I say shame, something as simple as I remember in school, fourth, fifth grade, teacher had you read out loud.
Hmm.
You know, if you couldn't read, you
You
know,
felt bad about
that
it.
was a problem.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
it encouraged you. Oh, I gotta, I know we doing story time whenever. I gotta get my reading game up.
Mhm.
And that ain't necessarily shame. It's just
Well, the kids, no, the
bringing you to
kids
life.
would know.
Oh, kids call
Yes,
we
bullet,
made it a big deal. Oh, they
bullet.
call it being bullied today,
They was,
but
yeah, it was,
we
they was
made
bullet.
sure you knew that
Yeah,
you could not read.
yeah.
When we was but and like I said, it was motivation. And I don't think it was negative. I think it was
Mhm.
very healthy. Uh, that your peers were the ones who pushed you
Yeah.
to go further, not an adult or anything like
Mhm.
that. It was the people your age group,
Yeah.
and you wanted to be able to match up with them
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Growing up, being in third, fourth, fifth grade. So
And I think that's what we lost also. The fact that you can gauge yourself against your peers.
mhm,
Now we're in this culture where
everybody wins,
yeah,
man.
everybody wins, yes. Everybody gets a trophy culture. We're
Hmm.
in that culture, right? And I think it doesn't breed the competitiveness, and also that we can look at somebody and say, you know what, I want to be as good as that person.
Right.
Because everybody wins, you don't breed that. So now we got a bunch of people that just think you're supposed to win by default.
Just because I participate, I should
Yeah,
win, and that's
because
not
I
how that
show up.
works. Right.
Just because I show up. We never like. I think that's hurting us. I think that's. Hold on. Ashley said back then we weren't as competitive with. We weren't as competitive. No, I think we were competitive.
Mhm.
At least boys, young men were.
We always, yeah.
Yeah, young men have always been competitive. I think
That's just that
we've
natural.
lost that.
Hmm.
Like I don't see, unless they're into some like sports that are on AAU level or not rec. Like rec, everybody gets a trophy. You AAU level, yeah, you got to compete. You have to produce in order to get the trophy. You have to come in either first or second place to get that trophy. Rec, everybody gets a trophy. Even in our football, we have banquets. Everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah.
And it's yes, they feel good, but
But feelings don't get you anywhere in life.
yeah,
Feeling good
yeah,
doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't teach you work ethic. It doesn't teach you competition, being the best that you can be.
mm,
Uh, and and I see the results of it in the kids today. And I'm not pointing out anybody else kids, just in my kids alone.
mm,
They compete somewhat, but I remember when competition was a real thing. It was always I'm trying to be the best at this.
mm,
And it's destroyed that.
mm. Yeah. You don't get to see them want to reach to that next level, right?
Right.
They can become complacent,
Right.
and that's a bad thing for your kid to become complacent at a young age, right? Oh, I can all I have to do is wake up. I can play video games. I got this. I got that. And uh, I'm speaking in regards to uplifting one another. Um, well, I mean, like I said, in sports, you always had the guys that trash talk. Like you had those guys,
Hmm.
but that was part of the things that pushed you, right? We didn't look at everything back then as being negative. We didn't look at nothing as being negative.
Right.
We just dealt with what it
It's just
is.
what it was reality.
Yeah, it was this what I got, and this how what I got to do to make this stop happening.
If I
Like I
keep
got to get as good as him.
right, if I keep missing these shots, they gonna call me a
They gonna
scrub.
pick me last.
Right.
Remember that?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get picked.
I'm not
Or
gonna
you
get
don't
picked.
get
Yeah.
picked at all. You want to play.
Now this inclusion culture we
You
got
walk to the
is
playground, you want to ball. You
yeah,
don't want to sit there and watch everybody else play. So yeah, absolutely.
and that's something you strive at. Like what these young people strive at today? Like
It's pretending for one another. Social
yeah,
media is
yeah, yeah. If I could look a certain way, and that's not actually outcomes. It's not you're not getting any results. Just looking
not
like you're doing
worthwhile.
something.
Right, right. Not
Yeah,
worthwhile results.
yeah. It's rooted in bullshit. It's rooted in nothing. So yeah, like I said, yeah, I was thinking a certain way, and then I'm like, you know what? Damn that. Damn that. We in our community we need tough love. I think we've lost that. I think we need tough love. Um, this episode is talking about the cancers of our community. So I think that's one of the issues we have is that we don't try to compete at a certain level.
We don't.
Look at any other race, right? We have to pull it back. We have to compete with people of other races. If we calling each other in our own race, how can we compete with another race?
Absolutely.
We're always going to be at the bottom because we refuse to compete with each other. We want to feel accepted. We don't want to be that person that's on the outside.
Especially when there's a preconceived notion a lot of times, or a prejudice, whatever you want to call it, about certain races,
Hmm.
certain genders, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, you have to compete. That's it goes back to accountability. Is what it goes back to. Being accountable,
Hmm.
being able to call on somebody and say, okay, I can trust that you can do this, or cannot do that. But like you said, you know, why don't we challenge each other within our race? I mean, in a healthy aspect. I'm not
Hmm.
talking about degrading anybody, but uplift those who are doing well, and then challenge everybody to reach that level. To meet that level.
And well, in so I about the degrading part. So I have this thing, right? If somebody tells me something, if I'm doing something, or something's going on with me, and somebody tells me something, my mind is going to go to first is this the truth?
Mhm.
Not are they belittling me or they degrading me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna look at myself like, okay, is this shit they talk about true?
Right.
If it's not true, then I'm gonna dismiss it. I'm not even gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna call you anything, misogynist and bashing. I'm not gonna tell you none of that. I'm not gonna use words that, whatever. Okay, that's your opinion. Everybody has an opinion, but I'm gonna look at myself, look in the mirror, take inventory of myself, and I'm gonna figure out uh is is it validity to what they're saying.
Mhm.
Um, Part of the cancers our community. We don't do that.
Right.
We're quick to put a wall up,
Mhm.
say you're the problem, and we keep on going our merry way, believing everything is good.
Yeah. I also think that and I don't know if this is just a personal thing, but I do the same thing. Somebody says something, I don't take it one way or the other. I ask myself, is this reality? Is this who I am? You know, and so often what I find when you mention something to somebody else, they automatically go on the defensive. And I don't do that. Not to say I'm different or
Mm-hmm.
special, but I have to be honest with myself, because that's the only way I get better is to say, you know what, you suck at this, or
Mm-hmm.
you're terrible at this. But so often people automatically go on the defensive, not listening to what you're saying, but automatically trying to defend themselves, or establish their point of why. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just listen sometimes, and just be honest with yourself. You don't have to tell me, but go off in your little quiet room or something somewhere, and just ask yourself, is this true about me? Is this who I am?
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's human nature because I know I might do it for certain things.
Hmm.
Now, if it's something that's not based in actual actions that I'm doing or something where I could say, okay, yeah, I might be doing this, then yeah, then I might get to the point where I'm trying to, no, this is not the case. I'm combating what you're saying because
I don't believe that
I don't
is
believe that to be true. Yeah,
right.
that's what it is. So I think that's human nature. But when it comes to actual things that is going on, like we talked about, right? With last week the topic was what it was, and I was asking a question and people attacked that, as far as what they thought.
But see,
And it's
that's
like,
that's what I'm talking
yeah,
about. It's automatic
yeah,
defense
yeah.
instead of answering. Like I say, it was just a question,
There's a question. Yeah.
but we got up this defense mechanism
Mm-hmm.
instead of let's deal with some reality. Let's deal with the truth. That's the only way you get better. Is dealing with what's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so often, like I said, we so quick to defend,
Mm-hmm.
and to come up with reasons why, instead of just let me look at this objectively and say, okay, yeah, I am doing this, or this is why. Because you asked the question, you didn't
Mm-hmm.
even point fingers. You asked the question, and I wish I could have read some of the responses, but you I think you read a couple of them on the
Yeah.
show.
Um. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the what you call 'em. I did it a different way. We ran right into it, did our intro, whatever. I'm gonna put the link up if anybody want to come up and talk about the cancers of our community, what they think are some of the cancers in our community. 1 second. Damn it. So
Do you have a list of cancers on your own, or you just
yeah,
going to?
I have some.
Okay.
And that's what we're gonna go into. I tomorrow, not tomorrow, next Tuesday. The first one is gonna be black on black violence.
Wow.
I think that's a big
That's to me. That's the If we could get that straight, I think we could straighten out a lot of things.
Yeah. So for next week, we're gonna have a guest speaking about black on black violence. They were a victim of black on black violence, and she was a victim, domestic violence victim,
Hmm.
and then now, as of a couple weeks ago, she's a victim of black on black violence through her sons.
Okay.
So we're going to talk to her next week, next Tuesday. But like I said, if y'all
Jump
want to get
in, man.
on, jump in or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and put the link. I should have did that. My bad. The link is in the comments. Um, you could jump on and give us what you think is one of the cancers of our community. There you go. But so like I said, black on black violence, uh, big. That's the major thing. Um, I know. I mean, we could say that yeah, white people have white on white violence and whatever, because it's the numbers are not that much far away from each other. You know, Hispanics have Hispanic violence. You
Yeah.
know,
And
um,
because of just human instinct, we automatically live around people who look like us
mhm,
and all that. And that's normally where most crimes take place,
mhm,
is in the vicinity of where you live.
mhm,
So yes, all that stuff is true, but I always talk about the mathematics to it.
mhm,
Our ratio is so much higher than other races. That's the thing that bothers me the most. It's not, if it was 10% all the way down the board, I could deal with that, but it's not. And that's my biggest point to point out, because that's real. Yeah, all races have the same, white on white violence,
mhm.
whatever the case may be. But we're doing it at such a high level, in our community, and we only make up 13% of the
Yeah,
population, man. So that's my concerns.
yeah, and then mine too. Like if we were 50% of the population,
It'll make
it would make sense.
right.
Like it
It'll
would
make
make
more sense
sense, and we
then.
wouldn't have to really worry about this issue like that. But because the numbers are what they are, we can't afford to be losing people like this.
Not at this rate, man. And I used
No,
to think people were crazy. When I was growing up, they always said the black man is becoming extinct. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what are you talking about?
You didn't see it.
No, I didn't, because I was naive. I was a child. I didn't look at it in that as I didn't know the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is a real thing, man. This is it's a real thing. It's a
Like,
real thing.
like I've seen violence since the late '80s. I've seen black on black violence since the late '80s, and I've seen it spread throughout our community in different areas to, at the same like at the same intensity that it was in New Orleans. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a bad thing, and that's that's why like a couple of shows we was pointing out certain things as far as a single parent, you know, issue. You know, we got the figures for that. We have the numbers. We have the statistics to that. Um, you have to be able to point it out so you can try to fix something. That's what it is. When you talk about okay, somebody's bashing, you're bashing women, you're bashing this, or you point the finger at this or victim blame or whatever it is, right? You have to be able to point certain things out in order to know how to fix it. When you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you got stage 3 cancer, right?
Right. You start attacking the
Or
doctor.
you're going to attack the doctor. That's what's going on in the black community. We have stage 3 cancer in
Hmm.
the black community.
I'm gonna
Uh,
call it four,
we
but
could
go
call
ahead.
it 4. Yeah, we could call it 4. We have stage 4 cancer. Are we're gonna attack the people saying that we have a problem? No, because everybody knows there's a problem. We all know there's a problem.
It's the saying, but I can call my baby ugly, but you don't call my baby ugly. That's
Yeah, no,
they
yeah,
don't want to,
yeah.
we don't want to hear it from somebody else. So you want to, deal with it in our own terms. But at some point, we gotta say this is, forget who's saying it. Let's do something about it. Reflection, accountability. We gotta fix this.
Yeah, because the thing is, if we all know it's a problem, right? We can all come together. We could agree that yes, this is a problem, right? Violence, black on black violence is a problem. What are we going to do about it, right? What are you going to do about it? Um, like we have to hold each person accountable. If we're in our neighborhoods and we see something going on, we can't just continue to say no. I don't see anything. You know, what if that's your child? You see a crime happen, somebody gets shot. I don't see anything. You know damn well who did it, but what if it's your child next,
There you go.
right? Now you care? I mean, we can't. You can't do that. Like you can do it, but the thing is that
It doesn't.
uh,
It doesn't help.
it doesn't help the overall it doesn't help the overall community. It don't help us. You know, and I understand, oh, this is somebody to me, but the thing is you're not helping because um whether you know help put this person away, you could even save this person's life. You know,
Actually,
you could save that person's life. We got to stop looking at like we're doing something to that person. No, that person's doing something to themselves by not operating out of the what's best interest for our society.
as well as creating victims,
Yeah,
so
as you said, that's the attitude we have until it hits home. Yes, I agree.
right,
I agree. I mean, we always want to turn away from it, or we don't want to see anything. We don't want to. Oh, that's not my problem. No,
right,
it's everybody's problem.
yeah,
If you live in the community you're in, it's ever if it's in your community, it's your problem. It's I mean, it's going to be your problem if it comes to your front door. So
eventually, and that's all it's going to do. It's just getting worse.
you're not going to be able to stop it when it happens. When it comes to your front door, everybody let it go on, right? That person gains more. They get
They're
bolder.
bold,
They get bolder in what they're doing. So it's like, okay, who's not a victim? Everybody becomes a victim because you're allowing it to happen. So, um, we have to get to the point where we start calling out
bad
people that are
behavior.
bad behavior, all bad behavior. We can't defend bad behavior. We got to stop doing that community. Like we usually uphold people or put them at a certain level when they do bad behavior. Like we respect people in our community for having bad behavior, and that's the first thing that needs to stop.
Right, right. Why is that?
Um, I think because of the kind of sordid thing we have with police officers, after slavery, the overseers and stuff, and then we got we idolize certain things like people like
I
Scarface.
just
Scarface. Think
that's the
about the movie
first thing came
Scarface.
to my head.
Yeah,
Everybody loved the movie
yeah,
Scarface.
Scarface. Yeah,
You know,
somebody that had nothing that you know did crimes and it was able to get the world. You
but
know,
if you look at it and put it in context, he only had the world for a very
very
short
short
period
period of
of
time.
time,
Yeah,
and that's
no,
how it
yeah,
always happens.
yeah.
And I'm trying to think, it's a way to get the world and manage it much longer than that.
Yeah. If you do the right shit,
If you know,
but we have to, as a community, we have to come together as a community and say this is what we're not going to deal with. One episode after we get through this series, right? The black code is what we're going to do. Like we have to sit down,
hmm,
and I want to get some grown ass men, some grown ass men, some men that's handling their business, that's doing stuff in the community, that's do whatever. I want to bring some men on here, and we talk about the black code stuff that we want to that we're going to deal with and not deal with in our society because we have to point it out, like uh the commandments of the black community. Basically, that's what it's going to be.
that's deep.
Because until we do that, until we put this up, like everything goes,
Right.
and we can't operate in that fashion anymore because it's not getting us anywhere.
It used to be cold in the street.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Back in the day, yeah, back in the day, it
That
used to be
that
street code.
that no
Oh
longer exists. It doesn't appear to exist. Everybody's fair game.
yeah, no, yeah. They used
Whether
to they used
whether
to
they're
respect women and
civilian
children.
or the criminal.
Yeah,
Well, they used to respect civilians.
elderly people, women and children.
If you weren't part of the game, then you really didn't get involved.
Yeah,
That
that's true.
you were off limits for the most part. But now they don't. Hey, everybody can get it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we need to stop that. Black on black violence. The second I mentioned is the single parent rates, is tied in with black on black violence. If you look at the
Hmm.
statistics, the numbers are tied in together. The fact that we have single parents raising kids and uh, coddling these young men or young women to where they when they get older they can't do anything but commit crimes because they don't have any kind of
And
foundation.
yeah,
So what are they going to gravitate to? You know, um, we need to start talking about that too. I mean, we can talk about creating programs so young people can get what they need. Um, if you're a single mother, you have a young boy that is exhibiting certain kind of attributes or whatever. They're exhibiting negative behavior. Uh, you gotta have to be able to reach out to a male that's gonna understand what's going on. that's gonna try to do something about it, right?
You know the hard part about that is depending on how old that child is, that is a lot of work.
Mm.
If you don't start early on with people, I'm not gonna call
Yeah,
them children,
yeah,
but with people, just say he makes it to the age of 12,
yeah.
but
Mm.
he, you know, but
It's kind of late. Yeah.
with his bad behavior,
Hmm.
you got to remember this all that he
Yeah.
knows for the 12 years he's been alive. So
Hmm.
trying to introduce something new is so foreign. It's going to take so much time and intensity to, my thing is let's just avoid that altogether. Let's have the parents in the household to start with.
Yeah, no, that would be ideal.
It would.
That would be ideal. But what I'm saying right now, it's going forward. That would be ideal, right?
Right.
Whatever kids are born right now, they're here. We can't stuff them
Yeah.
back in the wuha.
Okay.
You can stuff it.
We should try that.
We can't stuff it back up there and say let's start again. So we got. But I'm saying,
Right.
and I agree with you, right? The younger the better with dealing with this.
Absolutely.
You know, 7 or 8 when they start to get to the point where they don't respond to you anymore, they start talking back or they start acting a certain way. You need to get him with some kind of group, boys, girls club, different
Structure.
stuff like that,
Hmm.
to where they have men around that they can kind of you can kind of get in the man ear like, oh, he did such and such. Because
Right.
when before COVID, pre-COVID, I used to coach football. Sorry, basketball before that, but I coached football. And when the kid act up in school, when they act up around the house, the mother used to come over and be like, okay, yeah, he was acting up in school. He would, we punish him.
Yeah.
He'll catch hell for the whole practice.
I remember taking kung fu at an
Mhm,
early age
mhm,
and just being taught discipline in kung fu.
mhm,
Now I had my dad at home, so he was a disciplinarian. But
mhm.
then to go to another institution and they preach discipline.
Yeah,
Because that's how you achieve anything is through discipline.
yeah,
Stuff like that. Just some kind of structure in these young kids' environment. And I'm not talking about just the males. I'm talking
mm,
about everybody.
yeah.
We all need some level of discipline in our life, especially in those early years.
And the reason why I focus on the males is because I think the males are doing way more of the crimes than the females.
Oh, absolutely. It's
So
because it's the nature of men
yeah,
to be able to be violent
yeah,
and not just be violent, but be good at it.
yeah.
If they choose to. You know, most women don't have that that nature to be violent like that. Don't get me wrong, women can be
No,
violent,
and it's a
and we're
different type
seeing
of.
it today.
It's a different kind of violence,
It's a
though.
different kind of
Yeah,
violence,
yeah.
right? Whereas, think about all the wars,
Mm.
dropping atomic bombs, wiping
Men,
out villages.
men.
Right? That's
Mm.
yeah, that's man stuff. So
Yeah, no, yeah. We have to. Yeah, we have to get to the place that we identify once again women. And I'm saying this because majority kids are raised by single women.
mhm.
Um, if a single fathers, uh, I was talking about this. Me and a friend was talking about this, right? With the women tend to coddle their sons more than their daughters. The males tend to coddle their daughters more than their
Yeah,
boys.
they treat the daughters like men and treat the boys like
Yeah,
girls, and it's the strangest thing.
and the thing is that vice versa. Like if your man has a daughter, I think you should reach out to a woman to help you through, or have a women, in your close circle
Hmm.
to help your daughter through whatever she might be dealing through. Because as a man, you can't really like you don't know everything she goes through emotionally, mentally, and everything else. Her hormones firing off, how what's going on.
I can see
So,
that.
so to reach out to women and have a close group of women in your circle to help raise this daughter, would be I don't know what that
Now,
is.
when you say race, are you just
I
showing
don't know
her
what
woman
that is.
things?
Welcome to the channel, DVA Mechanics.
You
Who's that?
talking about showing her female things, or you talking about actually how to behave as a woman? Things like that.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Behave as a woman. Think about it. Back in the day, they had etiquette. They taught young girls etiquette, proper, how to be a woman, how to sit in a dress, different stuff
Absolutely.
like that, how to walk. They used to teach them stuff.
Right.
These young girls today, they don't get that stuff.
Mm,
They don't get that.
they don't get any of it.
They're out there competing with boys, trying to compete with boys and be better than the boys, and
Or they have a lack of respect for, and I'm not just talking about women, but just to me, the way you break to show yourself in public shows your respect for other
yeah,
people.
for other people around you. Yeah, I
I
agree.
I
Mhm.
see. it's really, and I see it more so in women than men, but the pajamas,
Mm.
the house shoes, because somebody told me they no longer house shoes once you wear them out the
The
house.
the fur the furry slippers,
Right, and that
furry slippers.
they're no longer house shoes once they go outside
Mm-hmm.
because they're outside shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But that shows a level of respect that you have for your fellow man
Mm-hmm.
as well as for yourself.
Yeah.
But when you allow somebody to see you in any light, that shouldn't be. Everybody should be able to see you like that. That should
Yeah.
be a
Yeah,
select few who
yeah,
should.
the man in your house, or
Yeah,
or
maybe your
yeah,
kids.
your kids, yeah. I mean, and the craziest thing, and we're gonna get back to what you call 'em, the topic, but the crazy thing is that when Monique called it out, they attacked her about it, and she
Oh,
was
with
just
the
saying some
whole
the
body.
bonnets, the whole bonnet thing,
And see
and
that.
she talked about the pajamas.
But see, that's
You
the
know,
thing. That's what I was talking about. We automatically go to defense instead
mm.
of just sit back and say, you know what? Why am I wearing night clothes to the grocery store or to the? She was talking about the airport, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh I've seen it. Yeah, they go to the
So
airport.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
yeah,
a
they go
whole
to
nother level.
yeah, they go to the airport. It don't matter. But I mean, so my thing is that you have to. We used to have respect. We used to have pride in ourselves. The way we walked
Right.
out, we didn't want people to see us a certain way.
I'm black and I'm proud. Yep.
Yeah, black. Yes, exactly. I'm black, and I'm proud. It was a saying. Like we used to say this. In school, we used to say this.
Yeah.
But
We were all always caught up in appearance, and
Mhm.
and I know that could be it can be to a detriment sometimes,
Yeah,
but we want to look good whenever we left
yeah.
the house, and we still
At
have
least look
that.
our best.
We still have
It's
that
yeah.
because we still people. You see the brokest person out there with the Gucci belt or whatever. We still
Yeah.
have that, but then we got another side of where you just take this.
Take me
So
as I am. Yeah.
right,
Don't judge me. Take me as I am. Yeah.
but yeah, we used to have. We used to want to be the best dressed. We want to look good, even if we didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
And that's something my mom always taught me. If you don't have a 2 cent, you can. It's doesn't cost you anything to be clean
Mhm.
and be neat. You know, iron your clothes, make sure they're neat. Wash your face, wash your body.
Yeah, wash your body. Yeah, yeah. Have good hygiene. Like we was taught good hygiene. Um, as I said, mothers and fathers of just this generation are different. We were brought up with manners. Yes, I agree. The fact that I think a lot of times these parents don't exhibit manners, so their kids don't teach. They don't learn it.
Right.
You can't tell me nothing. I mean, that's not.
A lot of these parents don't demand it from their
Yeah,
kids.
that too.
They
Yeah,
allow their kids
yeah.
to say anything or do
Be
anything.
their friend.
I
Yeah.
think I mentioned this. When I was on the show once before, where the father, it was a family, mother, father, son, and daughter,
Mm.
and the son, he came to the table at the restaurant with his iPad out, never looked up, was playing this iPad the entire time, and his mother was feeding him. I mean, cutting up his waffle and then feeding it to him, and his dad was right there. And I'm trying to figure out
What's wrong with you?
why is it, and he was like 10.
Yeah.
He wasn't invalid. He wasn't an infant, and I was just like, that's not good.
Mhm.
That's a disaster waiting to
Yeah. Oh
happen
yeah.
right there.
No, it's bound to happen. Yeah, and we had a village. Thank you, Ashley. We did have a village. So I mean, what happened to the village? That's part of identifying the cancers. Like what happened to the village?
Because everybody baby became special, and babies are special to
To
you,
you, yes.
not to me. Not I
Yeah.
can I ain't gonna say that, but but we started taking the stuff personal when somebody would chastise your child.
Mhm.
That's another thing. Like I said, we go on the defensive, but is what this
Is it
person is
right?
saying
Mm.
correct?
Yeah. Is it right or not? We once again accountability.
That's
You
it.
know, it we got we I mean we keep going back to the word, right? We got away from accountability for oneself, for your children's actions. Like you should be held accountable for your children's actions.
Yeah, up to a
Um
certain age, at least.
yeah, at least till they get, till they able to fend for themselves, get a job for themselves, and formulate thoughts to where they being held accountable by the state at least.
Right.
Because if you 17, you do a crime, they're not gonna come after mom or dad. They
Nah,
gonna do the time
you
themselves.
get to go to jail for
Yeah,
that.
you get big boy jail. Mothers and fathers don't want you to discipline their kids, and that's the thing.
That's a
But
real
I
thing.
like I don't know where that came from.
Right,
Like,
because there used to be a time where that was understood.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
you go up the street and act the fool if you want to.
they gonna get you, and then
Mr.
when you come home,
Johnson
they
gonna
tell me
get you,
about it.
and then I'm gonna find out, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna get you. That
yeah,
was that was understood. Kept you on your toes. It kept you on the straight and narrow.
And the thing is, I understand where we at, right, or where we got at to the point where corporal punishment started being a bad thing. I understand that, but the thing is that even when somebody telling you that your kid is doing something wrong, right?
You don't.
Where did that come from that you didn't want to hear? You're going to combat this person based on the fact that you mind your own business or whatever. And
Right.
don't tell my child nothing. Where do we get at? You don't have to touch the child to correct the child and address the issues.
Right.
You
There's
know,
no physical interaction
yeah.
to say, look, you shouldn't be out here doing whatever you were doing, But I'm with you. How did we get to this point where you can't even tell my child that, you know, the sky is blue?
Yeah.
When did we get to that
Yeah.
point? So it's
Yeah. And that I mean, actually, that's one of the things that kind of got away from the village. When I can't, like, I don't have any input. If I don't have any input in the village, I'm not part of the village anymore.
right.
So that's what I think happened. As you said, grandmothers are 40 years old or younger. That is
That's
true.
true.
They want to live their own life,
But at 40, you still should know better But I guess that says a lot,
and these new parents don't believe their kids can do any wrong. No,
I think that's the biggest problem. They they put their kids on a
on the
pedestal.
pedestal, yeah, yeah,
Children are meant to be seen and not heard. They were not the head of the household. They were not the light of the life.
and that's what I was just about to say. Right, I think a lot of these single mothers put the son as their king, their prince, their head of the household, and that breeds them to think that they have power. The children, the boys, have power when they don't have any,
Hadn't earned it.
haven't earned anything. Um, I believe some of our young women aren't being, because the mother has certain issues with lack of a man being there or whatever. I think they don't breed the respect for men. So then when they get older, or when they get out in the world, then it's a lack of respect. And once you disrespect somebody, they're gonna disrespect you back. It becomes a cycle.
Normally, yeah.
So uh, which is another cancer of a community. The lack of respect for one another. Um,
Hold on. Let me
good,
keep this in order. So
good.
we said the black on black crime,
Black on black crime,
uh,
single parent,
single parenting, and then the lack of respect for
lack of respect in our community.
it. Okay.
Yeah. Um, the fourth one, I'm gonna try to keep it down to four. I might add a fifth, but I'm gonna try to keep it down to four. The fourth one I think is materialism, right? And that's something that we don't, because like you said, we used to compete with each other about dressing and stuff.
Hmm.
Back in the day, it wasn't like as extravagant as it is today.
It wasn't my outfit cost more than
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
It was more so
I look, yeah,
how
I
you
look.
presented yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How creative were you into
Yeah.
putting that outfit
Mm-hmm.
together? Now it's all about it can look like
Oh yeah,
trash,
yeah.
but I
Three
spent
hundred dollar jeans look like garbage.
I spent 10,000
Mhm.
on this.
Yeah.
So that's me. It's and it's great if you have that kind of means where you can spend 10 grand on an outfit. That's wonderful. But when the people that society put in front of us, that's what they're selling.
That's the
That,
standard.
that that's that's dangerous as a community because now everybody's competing. Come on, let's think about it. Who can really afford to spend thousands of dollars on a single outfit? Very few
Nobody,
people.
nobody.
Even the people who do it, half
Yeah,
of them
no.
can't afford to do it. So it's not really realistic for the majority of people. But yet and still, we all try to, not we all, but a lot of people try to attain that goal of
And,
pretend of looking rich.
and it's not. It could be obtainable, but it's not sustainable. That's the thing.
Well, it can in
Yeah,
small
yeah. Increments.
percentages,
Yeah.
but if you look at what is Instagram, everybody
Oh
rich
yeah.
on there. You're like,
Mhm.
damn, I'm doing, and I think that's what happens. People like, what am I doing wrong in life that I can't look like this, or I can't have a car like that, or I can't, because you see it on all these different social media platforms, and you're trying to figure out, well, I done did something wrong because all these people are doing this. Why haven't I done it? But I think if you understand, like America is based on capitalism.
Hmm.
So we're based on consumption. So that's what's being pushed in front of us
Yeah,
at
of course.
all
Mhm.
times, consumption.
Yeah.
And it hits the black community extra hard because we're not producing anything to reap any rewards from that consumption. You know, it's one
Yeah, to
thing when
offset the cost of what's going out the
absolutely,
community.
you
Yeah,
know,
I agree.
that's not happening. It's just going out. Nothing's coming back in. But you know, we gotta realize what we're up against, and then approach it in the right manner. But it's all based on consumption. That's going to be put in front of you on everything.
Yeah, 24/7. I mean, there's always a push to sell you something. There's always a push. I mean, commercials late night. You see the most commercials late night when you up not doing anything. They made millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, off of with the shopping network, right?
See, I didn't think
Late at
that was
night
real.
shopping network.
I
Oh
didn't think
yeah, no,
I
they
didn't think
made
that
a
was a real thing. I
shit.
say ain't nobody
In
buying
the
that.
'80s, they used to kill it.
I used to see some of these products. Ain't nobody buying that. Well, it's the reason they on TV because
Yeah,
it's not cheap to run a
no,
commercial on
no,
TV. So if you got the money to run a commercial, you've made some money off of that product you
mm,
selling.
yeah, we,
Even late at night, it's not cheap.
yeah,
It's cheaper than during the day, but it's not that cheap.
yeah, we don't understand how like media. You know what? That's another cancer, like media. That's something new.
Oh man,
Yeah,
don't get me
that's
started on the media.
yeah. Might let you spearhead that one. You can spearhead that because you can go on a tangent on that. We'll be here an hour with you.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think that'll be the fifth one, right? The media.
yeah.
So because we don't understand, it's something brand new
Hmm.
that this generation is going to be like we're gonna understand it after this generation here.
We're gonna see the
Yeah,
we're gonna see
effects. Mm,
the the fallout,
mm,
whatever you want to
yeah,
call. We're gonna
yeah.
see the destruction of what media is doing
It's doing to our community.
after this
Mm,
generation,
yeah,
and it's not gonna be pretty at all.
yeah,
Being led astray.
yeah. So yeah, we got black crime, single parent household,
Lack of respect.
lack of respect, materialism, and social media. Media, you
For
know,
you say just say media,
media,
uh, but
media, because it's
but
not even
that
social, yeah.
yeah,
Because we talk about TV, we talk about everything, every
right,
form of media,
right.
how it affects a community, what it cancers community because it leads us to think certain ways and to give certain outcomes to our people that is not in our best interest. So yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to introduce that. I didn't have
Okay.
really too much of nothing.
That's
Yeah,
cool, man.
yeah.
Let's we got a little time.
Mm,
We hadn't been on too long, but let me ask you this: Where
mm,
do you think? I think I asked you earlier. Where did the lack of respect come from? Because it used to be a time when we respected one another. We called each other brother and sister.
yeah.
That wasn't because we hated each other or
No,
we
no.
wanted to
We loved
harm
each
one
other.
another.
Yeah.
That's
Um.
how we greeted, and people picked up on that. Other races picked up on
Yeah.
that, and they started doing the same
Yeah.
thing. But that's how we
Yeah.
address
We
one
were
another.
respected. We were respected back then when we did that. Right.
Yeah,
They knew we had unity in our community,
absolutely.
so
If
they
you
wouldn't come in our community
you
with
call a
bullshit.
stranger your brother,
Mhm.
you automatically know you can't mess with him then
Yeah.
because I got to deal with this guy over here
Mhm.
too. Or you call a woman your sister,
Yeah.
I can't just come
I
at
can
her
best
any
with.
old kind of
Yeah.
way because I got to deal with her brother.
Yeah.
You know, so what happened? How did we lose that?
Everybody started putting their needs before the community. It was more about them. Um. Like we had talked about this once before. The fact that we have different ways the men will put out the house. So um where men were the disciplinarians majority of the time,
Oh yeah,
men were the disciplinarians. So in the lack of those disciplinarians, then we have anything goes type situation.
well, yeah,
Um the mother was usually the nurturer back then. So when she wasn't nurturing, she had to try to play disciplinarian and she couldn't because of emotions, right?
and see, I was going to jump in
Yeah.
on that when you were
Yeah.
talking about say if a father was raising his daughter
Mm,
and then but he should bring in women to help with that process. In my opinion, there's only so much they can do. That, and that's why I asked, are you talking about just with like feminine
mm,
things? Because so often, and I'm just going to speak from my personal experience. I'm not going to, say
mm.
use a general
Okay.
statement, but I see how uh, mothers they don't want to disappoint their kids, or
Mm,
they don't want to be hard on their kids. So they kind of when they even though they see a glaring thing that needs to be straightened out or
mhm.
disciplined, they they kind of halfway go at it, or they won't do it at all.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just let it
They
slide.
they'll make excuses why it shouldn't
Right.
happen. Yeah. But
Right.
what I was talking about as far as nurturing, the nurturing aspect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Because they're not gonna get it from most
that
men.
yeah, most men you're not going to get that same nurturing aspect. So, um, if two parents are the 360 degree right, the 360 degree foundation. that one man with the daughter is going to be half, that
Oh, absolutely,
180 degree foundation,
absolutely.
and she's going to be offset because she's not going to be able to maybe deal with women in certain aspects.
Right.
She's going to
She
have more aggressive
she
nature or whatever.
I'd be first if I had if I was a single parent
Mm,
raising, because I have two
mm,
daughters, but I was raising them by myself,
mm.
they'd be just like another little boy.
Yeah, they'll be like another
I'm
little
gonna
boy.
teach them to
Yeah,
be independent. I'm gonna
yeah.
teach them, oh yeah,
Which is still the same thing you get with these women because the women have been a generation masculinized.
right. They had,
So
but it
yeah,
was. I
so
think they was more so out of necessity,
yeah,
whereas
unnecessary.
that's just my
Yeah,
natural
natural, yeah,
instinct
instinct.
is to teach you to survive.
Hmm.
And so, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with them, man. Okay.
So I mean, yeah, I think that it's you know, we have to, we have to worry about the kids. I keep on bringing it back to that. We have to worry about the kids and what's best for the kids in our community. We have to stop worrying about what we don't like as adults, what we don't want to see happen. You're saying something about something, so I'm jumping on you because you said something, and it triggered me. And no, damn that, it's
That's the excuse now.
yeah, it's
Oh, I
the
was
excuse
triggered.
for bad behavior. Yeah,
I was triggered.
yeah,
So let's start being adults again.
yeah.
We should be having I saw a video. I can't remember the lady's name, but and she was just going on and cussing about, of course, about Kevin Samuels.
Mm,
But I'm looking at that, and I'm asking myself, how can you have a conversation like that? How do you get anything resolved when that's how you respond to somebody with the yelling, the cussing,
mm,
the calling the names? You cannot. Nothing gets resolved like that. So let's be adults and let's talk things out.
mm,
Let's hear one another, not for the sake of responding, but of understanding, hopefully,
mhm.
so you can see where somebody else is coming from, where you can see, and that goes for both sides. It's
Yeah,
not just man, woman, or black or white. It's just let's listen to understand from where somebody's point of view, and you'll never know. I never know the life you've lived.
yeah,
Same thing with me. You'll never
yeah,
know the life I've lived. But let's try to get some understanding, a little empathy,
yeah,
just a
yeah.
little.
It goes a long way. We see other people in different cultures exhibit that.
Hmm.
We've been bred to think we're better than the next person, or think we don't share anything. Like we're on an island by ourselves. um, we're better than you. We're always looking down at the next man, and it's an issue, right? Because we're gonna, if anything happens in our lifetime, right, that comes to, let's say, they've always been wanting a race riot, right, a race war.
Yeah,
The people that don't like minorities always been talking about race war. So let's say that race war happened. Who you gonna turn to if you're a black person in a community? Who you gonna turn to? You're gonna look around, and you've been acting like you're better than somebody. You've
right.
been you've been standing on your own
You've
island.
been shunning everybody
Yeah,
around you for all this
you can't
time.
tell me shit. You can't tell my kids shit. So now who you gonna want to go to?
Right.
We need to act like that again because that was literally the reality we lived in back in the day, 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s. That was our reality.
Right. We were. I don't want to use the word game, but it was. We were one. We were
Yeah.
a unit.
No, we because we had
We had unity.
unity, but it was almost forced unity because we shared the same outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's forced unity, but still we have to understand we can share the same outcome again.
Yeah.
We talking about these police killing young black men, right? The police killings. What is we want to unify and go march and shit. Black Lives Matter for a little while, but we need to have that all the time. Like if we cared about our community, we cared about our brother and sister like we supposed to. Nobody could come in our community to do us anything.
And it shouldn't matter who's doing the killing.
Yeah,
Whether it's a
yeah.
police
Whether it's a
officer
black person, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
one of us.
yeah. I agree.
We should be pissed
Yeah,
regardless.
both sides, both
We should
ways.
be
Yeah, either way.
outraged at the level of violence in our community, regardless of where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, we're not.
Yeah,
Or if we are, we're not speaking up about it. We're keeping it to ourselves. We're keeping quiet about it.
yeah. But we could sound off about violence. We could sound off and go viral about bonnets,
That's crazy, but
about wearing bonnets in public. But
I'm
when it's
glad she
something that
said it.
actually, yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not knocking for saying it. It needs to be said. What I'm saying is the response to that,
Yeah,
right? The response to some real shit that somebody's telling you or asking you about
that's
some real shit.
that's one of them
It's
things.
crickets.
That's like one of them things you can't tell my child what to do.
Yeah,
Damn near.
yeah,
I want to what. that's fine, but do you really think that's presentable?
Okay, get off the women. The young men with the
With their
ass, their
ass hanging
pants,
out,
the pants under their ass,
and now
under their ass,
it used to be one thing to you know
sag a little bit.
when
Yeah,
we
yeah,
not
yeah.
I'm not even going. I never was into say I always
Mm,
wore a belt, but
mm,
that was just me.
mm.
But we wore bigger clothes,
Yeah,
in the
bigger clothes. Yeah,
'90s coming
yeah,
up. So
yeah.
you know
Baggy. It's baggy
it was
clothes. Yeah.
baggy, so
Mm.
they would sag a
Yeah, a
little
little
bit,
bit. Mm.
and you had. But now they got these little
Tight as
bitty.
shit. It's
Yeah,
tight.
they got on tights, and they make it. They make it a point
Leotards.
to, wrap their belt around it. Everyone got on a name brand belt.
Yeah,
They make it
name
a
brand
point
belt.
to have their ass hanging
Mm.
out. I'm not trying to figure out. Are you serious?
What are we trying to do here?
I don't understand. When
It's tight and low. Tight and low. What is we?
I guess I couldn't
What's the purpose?
understand. How do you look in the mirror and say, "Yep, this looks good"?
Hey, we old men though. We old men now, so
Yeah,
we won't understand it. But the thing is,
I'm the old man, but
yeah.
no. Joker's been sagging since I was in
No,
school.
no, no. I understand it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they have been. They
Joker's
have
been
been. Yeah,
sagging since,
they have been.
and I
Yeah,
was never like I
yeah.
never understood that.
Mm.
But now it's like I said,
Your whole ass,
not just that, but
entire,
it's
down to your thighs. I
like
seen it do with the thighs, like it was to his thighs, literally. I'm like, what the?
so. So what can he do if you just go up there and see?
Tip him over, push him.
No, just slap him.
Yeah,
Like
no, nothing.
he can't catch you.
No, no, you can't do shit.
But I don't know. But like I said, it was never my thing. But now it's almost not almost. It's very intentional.
Yeah.
The pants are too little as they're, and then they just tie them up. They got their belt on. And they tie them up right there at the thighs. We say at the thigh. It's I don't know.
And so the thing is, I mean, if it wasn't hurting our community, if it wasn't making black boys or black men, young men and men look a certain kind of way, nobody would give a shit. Like I wouldn't if you was doing this in your house, nobody would care. But the
Right.
thing is, everybody shares the image of the lowest person in our community.
We talked about that. That's
Everybody.
that's what defines us.
Mhm.
The thing that sticks out. If everybody was wearing a suit, would nobody give it a second thought. But
Yeah.
something that looks ridiculous,
Yeah.
it sticks out. That's going to be attached to everybody in that community, like you said, the lowest.
The lowest rung of our community. We have to learn to protect our image.
Yeah.
We have to learn to do that. Like I said, if the way people of other nationalities see us, they can do us anything because they see us as clowns. They will not respect us, and that's the thing. We need to demand respect. How can we do that? By changing what we do.
A lot of them don't respect us as equals.
Yeah.
And it's obvious a lot of times.
No, it's obvious by the laws they make. It's obvious by this Juneteenth thing they did without any legislation or anything else behind it. It's just in name only. Okay, I'm gonna acknowledge that you was free in 1865. Yes, you were free. Okay, I'm acknowledging. I'm making a holiday. So what?
Well, we know that that's pandering. It's not. They really don't. I say they. I'm talking about politicians.
Yeah, politicians.
They looking for votes. They trying to
Yeah.
get their next year.
Yeah,
That's
all
it
it is. Yeah,
That's it.
it's about votes.
And we keep falling for it. We keep sending the same people back. Whether you like Joe Biden or not, he's been in our Congress for 40 plus years.
Mm.
If he was going to do something, he would have did it by now.
Mm.
Not to say he's the right or wrong person, but I'm just saying we got to start thinking differently. If we've been complaining about the same thing for 40 years, how sending somebody who's been there for 40 years is going to make any difference?
And my thing is, it could make a difference. My thing is, if we were better as a community and we stuck together and we were on task, on topic, or whatever about whatever's going on in this Congress, Senate, whatever's going on in the government, we were on task and we stuck together about shit, they would have to change. Like, in order to get our votes, they would have to change. They would know, okay, you know what? We can't go in the black community and bullshit, shuck and jive, and go to black churches and talk all this shit.
That's exactly what
we can't do that. We can't do that once every 4 years and expect to get their vote.
That's exactly what they do.
We shouldn't have waited to the last second to talk about, okay, well, Biden is it, because no, we should have been leveraging the whole time. Matter of fact, Trump should have never happened because we should have showed up at the damn polls before Trump happened.
Who put doggone Cardi B in front of
us? Maxine Waters.
That's what I'm saying.
Maxine Waters.
That's what I'm saying. Same that we should be offended. We should
we should have been offended. I agree.
But
I agree.
People thought that was the coolest.
That was cool. Oh, she reached out. Oh, it's the old generation, young generation getting along, getting together. No, it's show. It's all for show.
Yeah, it's to get your vote.
It's all to get your vote.
And that tells you what they think of you. And they say, well, we just we put a superstar out there in front
Yeah.
of them. They go whatever
Yeah, we'll
superstar
follow
say.
whoever. Yeah, we
And
put a
we
rappers out there, they'll follow it because we put rappers out there.
right.
You know,
That's
we
what they think of us when they
yeah.
because that's used to be the greeting I got when I go to different countries.
Mhm.
Like I was some kind of rapper or something.
Hey, homeboy.
That was
Mhm.
always it. What's up, homeboy?
Mhm.
Well, damn.
Mhm.
That's when homeboy was
Yeah, was
a
yeah,
rap
yeah,
term.
rap term, yeah.
I know they don't say that no more. What they say now, I don't know.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
listen to it, but I don't know
no,
what they say.
I don't know. But no, we need to do better. That's the purpose of this, right? I want people to understand that we are at stage 3, stage 4 cancer. We this community is at that cancer, you know, and when you know you have cancer in your body, like this community has cancer and it's in the body of community, they seek to do something about it. They seek chemo, they seek whatever methods they think they have to do about it to survive.
Right. And you don't attack the doctor for telling you
Mm,
you had for diagnosing it.
yeah.
You listen to what his suggestions are, and then you decide whether or not you want to go with that one, or you
Mhm.
go find you a second opinion. But you
Yeah.
don't attack the doctor.
We need to start talking about what we're gonna do to fix this problem actively. We need to be aggressive about doing that. You don't sit back and be lackadaisical about how you're gonna treat this cancer. You don't do that. It's aggressive cancer. This
Yeah,
shit is
you
aggressive.
trying to
People are dying every fucking day.
you trying to get it done.
Every day people are dying in the streets. Black on black crime. Every day we have issues in the black community that nobody addresses
And
because we
nobody's
just gonna look the
outraged.
other way.
Yeah, nobody's outraged. Some people say we're used to it. I don't think we're used to it. I just think
No, you get numb to it. I mean, I
I don't.
can personally, I could tell you this, right? Coming from New Orleans, I was used to hearing police sirens, right? I was used to hearing police sirens, hearing or gunshots or whatever. I was used to hearing certain things, and when I moved up here to Stone Mountain, I'm hearing crickets, and I could not sleep. I could not sleep.
You needed
Like I needed the hood. I need hood
you
sounds.
needed gunshots going
I
off.
needed I needed some. I needed something
He
to
needed
go to sleep.
mamas crying to go to put him to sleep.
You stupid mama crying. Not that.
Not my baby.
No, no. I need to hear the hood sound. I need to hear traffic. I need to hear sirens or something. I need to hear something. And I couldn't go to sleep for a while after I moved up here.
Mm.
And I'm like,
See,
damn,
that's
like
PTSD right there.
yeah,
But
and it was. I mean, I've had guns pulled on me. I knew that. Like I used to go to sleep and wake up when I used to have dreams about me dying different ways. Like wake up, like see myself literally dying, and wake up like, damn, I died like that tonight, and go back to sleep. Right? That was the way I
it was a
operated.
normal thing.
It was normal. It was normal. So the thing is, yes, I believe that they become numb to whatever's going on in the community. Right? It's just another day.
The way it's supposed to go.
Yeah,
It's been like
this
this
the way it's been.
for 20 years. Let's
Yeah.
keep it going.
Especially your child growing up in there, right? How do you know any different? You don't know
See,
any
and
different.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
When you bring a new human being into the world, and this is all they've seen the entire time they've been alive, how do you know anything different? You don't. That's all.
Remember that, because when we talk about single parenthood, remember that point, because that's a very good point about that. Bringing kids up in a certain environment.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, we need to get to the point that we want to see better. We have to, anybody our age range know there's better.
Oh yeah, because they saw both sides
They
for the most
saw it.
part.
They saw it when they were growing up. They saw it. I mean, it wasn't this way. And I think really when it really broke down to where it was the crack epidemic. After the crack epidemic, I think that like totally broke it down to where we knew, oh, this is a different world. It was where it was night and day. Like the 70s, late 70s, and then 80, 85, 86, night and day.
Yeah.
If you was in the big cities, you any kind of inner city, it was night and day. Like you saw crime happen overnight, pretty much.
And it became, like you said, it became normal.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
that crack was a that was a
Mhm.
madman.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of looking at Snowfall right now.
Oh, you started watching?
Just started
Oh
watching
man,
it,
you're gonna
man.
love it.
Yeah, I
You
just
yeah,
started
you're gonna love
watching
it.
it. But
Yeah.
it's
Hey, so yeah, it's loosely based on the life of Rose. Well,
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. Yeah,
Freeway.
yeah, Freeway Rick Ross. Yeah, Freeway Rick Ross. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna love it. They do an awesome job. Um, but like I said, everybody, once again, we're going to be going to on YouTube. We're going to Damn, I didn't even. Oh, you know what? It hadn't came up. That's why I didn't put it down there. But we're gonna be going to YouTube, Black Male Podcast. Right now, you can go on ADHDR Podcast, subscribe. Uh, that'll be my show with my sister Sunday. You can still catch me and her there on ADHDR Podcast, Facebook or YouTube. And me and Eric will be on in the Black Manosphere.
In the
In the
manosphere. That
Manosphere.
sounds so important, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be in the Manosphere.
I gotta show up for that, man.
Show up in the Manosphere. Gonna have us over here with suits and everything, looking like Men in Black
Right.
with the sunshades.
Gotta show up for that.
On Tuesdays, and it's gonna be YouTube, Black Male Podcast. We need to talk about things, people. I want comments. I want people to.
That's what I was going to say. I
Look.
want some interaction from whoever's paying attention. Just jump on, and if you don't want to talk live or get on live, then just type a comment or what you think, because that's, to me, that's how we get things solved. When we get input from several different sources, because everybody got a story to tell.
Yeah.
So share your portion of that story.
Yeah, I mean, we can't no longer sit on an island by ourselves and think something's gonna be fixed.
Right.
It'll never get fixed.
Yeah, and I learned this: if you never say anything, then nothing ever be done.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and that's why I say share your information, share your comments, how you feel about it. Because if you keep quiet, I guarantee you, what is it? The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Most oil.
That's a very true statement.
Mm-hmm.
So next time, guys.
Yeah, next week. Still cancels our community. Black on black violence. Next week we're gonna have a special guest. Tune in next week. I appreciate everybody to come through. Ashley, I see I'll be tuning in on your show.
Ashley, let me hear you say go fast.
I think she's gone though.
Okay.
She ain't saying that. But yeah, no, I'll be tuning in her show, interracial dating. Like I said, after this goes off, you don't catch this live, you catch it, whatever. Go ahead and leave comments or say what you got to say, because I'm interactive. I'll reach out. I'll answer your comments. I'm in there. So
he'll get you on the show. He'll have a camera in your living room and everything. You'll be right here with us. So.
Hey, I mean, and you could come on the show. We could talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We always want to hear people's opinions about things. Like I said, that's how we grow as a people. We have to come together, people. Let's do it. All right. See y'all next week.
All right, next week.
Good?
Yeah, man. What is it? Black on black crime next week?
Yeah, black on black crime.
All right, let's do it.
All right, people. See you next week. Peace.